We started this just a few years ago. In complement to our Teacher of the Year program, we have incredible support staff members that we could not do this work without them. So we have recognized them for Support Staff Person of the Year for each of their schools, named a division-wide Support Staff Person of the Year, and we will celebrate them with Team New Kent Night on May 14th-ish. So our first recipient is not here, but she represents New Kent Elementary School, and that is Miss Sandra Berkeley. She's an instructional assistant, has over 30 years of service. She is also retired, so she's one of the few two-time winners at Team New Kent Night. She will be on stage twice. Our next support staff person of the year. Oh, thank you. That was Dr. Dave Q me in. So our next support staff person of the year is from George Watkins, and it's Miss Kim Dotson, who is our clinic aide. Yes, you didn't go first. In fact, you don't know what to do.
I know, right?
I did very good. Congratulations. When we surprised her, we actually saw her in action because you had a student who was not feeling well, who brought his trash can and everything. And took pictures, took care of the kid and everything. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. We will have an opportunity during the intermission to take pictures and line up and do all those kind of things. So our next award winner is also here. And while the title may be instructional assistant, I think she has filled so many roles and holes at Quinton this year that it was no surprise that she came forward to be the support staff person of the year. I believe she also, to be a long-term sub in kindergarten to start a year is a scary endeavor. And she took it on and she did an incredible job with it. So Quinton's support staff person of the year is Laura Wilson. Thank you very much. New Kent Middle School support staff person of the year. Just another funny story. We went there to surprise Yvette, and she was not there. She had been called over to the high school and was handling something there. So we had to call her on the walkie and get her to come back. But Yvette Garner is custodian at New Kent Middle School, but she's also a mentor, a supporter of all people. And when she walks in the room, you just feel Yvette is there. She's also been at the high school as well. So definitely, she's probably somewhere handling something right now, knowing Yvette. But congratulations to Yvette Garner. So, and our final recipient is also not here tonight. And this was a first for us. So Richard Pennycuff is the school security officer at New Kent High School. I've had him as the leading vote getter for Rookie of the Year, because this is his first year with us after a long career in law enforcement, FBI, so forth. He taught middle school for 2 years and decided he was going to go into something a little easier. And so he had a long career in FBI and law enforcement, but not only is he Rookie of the Year, he is the staff support person of the year at the high school, and then he was the division staff support person of the year. When you go to the high school, you really don't know what his job is, because he knows every kid, he knows every staff member, he's always walking the halls, he's playing ping pong, he's just interacting with kids. So I love the way that he takes the school security officer role. It's proactive, it's mentor based, it's getting to know kids and community. So we will bring him back officially and celebrate him. So Richard Pennycuff is your high school support staff person of the year. All right. It is also, May is an incredibly busy month. It is also Teacher Appreciation Week. And here we do Staff Appreciation Week, May 4th through the 8th. So if you are at any one of our schools at any point today, at any point this week, you could eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. There is food absolutely everywhere. But we couldn't do this work without our incredible staff. So we definitely want to appreciate them today, this week, and every day. So that's Teacher Appreciation Week. Last week on May 1st was School Lunch Hero Day. And it is fitting that they are lunch heroes. They serve thousands of meals daily. breakfast, lunch, and anything you need them to do. Perfect example is we got late notice from the State Department. On a snow day, to count it as a school day, you had to serve meals. We learned about that at the, I would say 11th hour, but it's probably even later than that. And that team said, got it, we'll feed kids. Here are 3 different ways we can do it. And that's just the incredible part of Team New Kent. When you face a challenge, you take it head on. So team is led by Crystal Parsley, and we're very appreciative of our lunch heroes. And if you knew me before I came to New Kent, I was a lot lighter. That is because of our lunch heroes that I now sit here today. So that is Lunch Hero. It is also Mental Health Awareness Day, May 7th. Today in our Monday message, I highlighted Camden Coles. Camden is a high school student at New Kent High School. He has taken on a mental health awareness challenge. He's done a whole fundraiser to go back to a charity that supports our community and our families. And what I said today is people say kids today are not like they used to be. I agree. I was never that driven and that cool and that community based. So there are events really focused on promoting wellness and supporting youth. So Mental Health Awareness Day is the 7th. All right. It is also recognition of School Nurse Day. So we are incredibly fortunate, and board members, you support this in the budget, to have an RN and a clinic aide at all of our schools. Not everybody has that, and we've had that for past I think 6 years. So School Nurse Day celebrates and recognizes our nurses and our aides for their incredible work around health, safety, and academic success. And they do an amazing job supporting our families. May is also National Speech and Hearing Month and Speech Pathologist Day. So we provide those services to students in New Kent. So we definitely want to thank our speech pathologists for supporting our families and supporting our students with communication needs. Tonight, we'd like to celebrate our Athlete of the Month. The problem with celebrating your Athlete of the Month is often they're on an athletic field when you're trying to celebrate them. And that is the case with Mariah Leonard. Mariah Leonard is a senior softball player committed to play at Bridgewater College. So she has a 4.11 GPA, straight A student for the entirety of her senior year. She will complete her advanced diploma. We graduate in 2.5 weeks. With dual enrollment and honors courses. She always goes above and beyond. So just recently, she had her 100th career hit, which is a huge milestone in softball. She's going to follow the enrollment pathway at Bridgewater. She's also a member of Teachers for Tomorrow. And yes, we have already signed her to come back upon completion of Bridgewater. So quick fun fact, a funny story about Mariah. We had an injury at the softball game. I am a doctor, just not a medical one that can help you, but I still went into the dugout and just listening to the young ladies talk. One of them said, "This is going to be a close game." And Mariah said, "No, it's not. We're going to 10-run run them, and we're going to win this game in 5 innings." They won like 13-0. So she is a leader on the field and in the classroom, and she's absolutely hysterical. All right. Our other Athlete of the Month was going to try to run here because he actually has a soccer game about 2 blocks away, and that is none other than Grayson Yates. Grayson is the son of Derek and Michelle Yates. He is a member of our boys soccer team. He has been on a goal-scoring tear and assist with our soccer team. He's the captain of the team. He's a junior. He had 7 goals at the time of this writing. That number has gone up. He had 4 goals in 1 game, which I believe is 1 goal short of the New Kent High School record. So he has about a season and a half to break that record. He will also be following the enrollment pathway. He would like to play soccer in college. He would like to major in elementary education. Before you ask, yes, he has also been hired. His advice to teammates is work hard and have fun without putting too much pressure on yourself. And he certainly does that with his intensity on the football field. Well, soccer/football, depending on what part of the world you're in. Our Senior of the Month is here. Yay! And that is none other than Julie Underwood. So Julie is the daughter of Henry and Dina Underwood. She's enrolled in the nursing program at Bridging Communities. So she has a passion for taking care of people. She's even showed up in Scrubs today because she is running between a lot of things. Just last week, she interviewed with patient care for a patient care technician with Bon Secours. While in this role, she plans to be employed and enrolled, working on her bachelor's of science in nursing. Outside of employment and enrollment, she just enjoys spending time with her family and traveling. So we're going to ask her to travel to the podium at this time and tell you a little bit more about herself. Welcome, Julie.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mrs. Vice Chair of School Board members, Dr. Nichols, and guests. My name is Julie Underwood. I'm currently a senior at New Kent High School in Bridging Technical Community Center. It is an honor speaking here tonight. From a young age, I've always been drawn to helping others, whether it's taking care of a family member or friend. I've always had a passion for making someone's day better. That feeling turned into my career decision, nursing. I'm interested in pursuing an anesthesia position in nursing because it has a variety of opportunities that come with it. From operating rooms to labor and delivery, anesthesia plays a huge role in the medical field. My e-decisions I have chosen are both enrollment and employment. I plan on attending Bon Secours School of Nursing to further my education within healthcare, while being employed at Bon Secours Memorial Regional Hospital to gain real hands-on experience within the medical field. I recently interviewed for a patient care technician position on the cardiopulmonary step-down unit. I'll be working full-time while finishing my prerequisites for nursing school. My job will be to take care of patients by helping them with activities of daily living, recording vitals, and taking care of them until they leave the hospital. I plan to take on higher positions in that hospital as well after nursing school. BCTC has assisted me with creating a resume, talking with different schools and employers, and helping make my future career decisions. My nursing instructor, Ms. Van Dyke, gave me the experience of working with patients to further prepare me for taking on the role of caring for others. From clinicals to in-class instruction, she has been with me every step of the way to build my confidence within my career decision. While learning the primary education of nursing in the classroom, attending clinicals gave me the real experience of working with people and gaining the compassion for it. Before I can conclude, I would like to thank Principal Strickland for choosing me as April's Senior of the Month. It is truly an honor that I do not take lightly. I would also like to thank her for the endless support she brings to her students, both at New Kent High School and Bridging Communities. She helps students get additional information about Bridging Communities by holding interest meetings, helps students with application process they're interested in attending Bridging, and she also takes time to match programs to students based on their interests and their future plans or careers. Finally, I would like to thank my family for always pushing me to be ahead. They showed me what it means to take care of people and help them through scary situations. My mom and dad both pushed me to start finding my career early and built my confidence along the way. They have always been there for every late night study session, test, and report card, and I'm very thankful to have the unconditional support to help me find my future career path.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I believe that concludes my no, it does not. How did?
Was that intentional?
No, it was not. I apologize, Toby. So this is a first ever in the history of New Kent County Public Schools. This year, the board put in policy to have a student school board representative, and we didn't know what student would want to blaze that trail and start this. And we were fortunate to have Toby Davis. So he is our first ever New Kent County Public Schools School Board representative, and he's sort of set the path. And tonight we'll actually vote on our next school board representative. So he remains active with athletics. I don't know how Toby does everything that he is doing. You see, he's in a boot right now. So cross country, indoor track, varsity tennis. He is also in Chesapeake Bay Governor School. So half the day he's not even at the high school. He maintains a strong academic record. Really helped work on the Pillar Project, which we'll hear about more in the coming year. And he's really done a fantastic job of kind of making something up that didn't exist before. So we're incredibly grateful and proud of everything you've done, Toby. So we do have a gift for you. And we also have a certificate. You want me to come to you? I'm happy to.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And it's a huge time commitment, and he spends the entire, many of you will get to leave at recess, but you're invited to stay. Toby spends the entire board meeting and preps with us and does all of those things. So thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
And he'll be back as a senior next year. So I have a feeling you might see him as senior of the month. So now that concludes my recognition.
Thank you. Thank you. And congratulations to all of you. Team New Kent is always impressive. And to actually, from the board perspective, for us to be able to see you and meet you is extra special, and we appreciate it. So thank you. We're going to take a 5-minute recess. Or those of you who don't want to stick around for the exciting board issues to continue, we welcome you to depart, and we will start again in 5 minutes. Okay, we will continue. Next item is consent agenda. Board members, by now you have had the opportunity to review the items listed on the consent agenda, including meeting minutes from April 14th, regular meeting, monthly financials through the month of March 2026, as well as the superintendent's recommendation regarding 30 personnel matters. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski,
Aye.
and Mr. Hall.
Aye. All right. Motion passed. The next item on the agenda is new business.
I believe,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vaughn. Before and after school, we're excited to move forward with the before and after school program. I want to thank Ms. Morgan for spearheading this from requests for proposals through the interviews to the selection piece. So, Andy, the floor is yours.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Nichols, Mr. Chair, board members. An RFP was issued on March 17th, and we have had interviews, and we are requesting that basically you're authorizing Dr. Nichols to commence negotiations with Right at School as the vendor and also sign into a lease agreement. That's what we're asking you for this evening.
Be happy to answer any questions you guys may have. But this allows us to move forward and actually do the contract or for superintendent to do it.
We will probably bring back some details as far as maybe a possible board presentation, but definitely the vendor is planning to attend any meetings happening in our schools towards the end of the year, set up tables, really promote the program, make sure that parents are aware of what we have. We do feel like the pricing is going to be great. They're experienced in the region. We're very excited about this partnership. The lease agreement is a payment that will be coming to each location, thousands of dollars for each school to use for back to school supplies for teachers and staff. So I think that would be great.
And this has been a big gap, as you know, board members, in what we've been able to offer. So it's a huge win for families and our staff to have before and after school at each of the 3 elementary schools. Currently, we have after school at 2 of the schools, and students are bused from the 3rd to one of the other schools. So, and they'll pay us through a lease.
Mr. Chairman,
Please go ahead.
I know that the money has initially been designated as, for supplies. Are there other purposes money from the leases could possibly be used for?
So right now, Mr. Reimer, we are planning on allowing those funds to go in 10 equal installment payments directly to each elementary school.
Yeah,
So we can kind of tell them how we would like for those funds to be used,
you
but
know
right
how
now
I think, don't you?
it would be at the discretion of the school principal, in my opinion. But we can look at,
So the only thing I'm thinking is if this becomes a long-term prospect, we may not want that to be the way, the arrangement that proceeds. Especially given how our funding troubles are always present.
And we can certainly, sir, we can reevaluate it after year 1 and see how it's going and provide an update to the board.
yeah, one of the reasons why, Mr. Reimer, we tried to build that into our RFP was that we did have grant fundings that were available in the past through the COVID funding that we had received that was extremely supportive in helping with back to school supplies for staff,
And that's
schools
gone.
really appreciated that, and we were not able to put that into the budget this year.
No, I understand.
So that will fill that immediate need. But
I'm just
certainly
thinking in general.
every year we could revisit that. and what
Yeah.
that would look like.
Okay, thank you.
Could you give a bit more detail of how the whole thing is going to work out and how staff are able to take advantage of this?
So without saying too much, just so that we are able to still negotiate, there will be a reduced rate for staff,
Okay,
which is great. I do believe it will land at 50%. the pricing per month. I will wait for Right at School to be able to promote that. But it will definitely be affordable and within reason of what Parks and Rec has charged in the past. There are other type of discounts available for multi-students and things of that nature. But I think folks will be really excited about the opportunity. We do not anticipate there being wait lists for these programs. They're able to staff and keep their ratios moving as long as there's folks that are wanting to enroll their students. We do believe that they'll be able to meet that need.
And that was one of the beautiful things in it. A lot of places will say we'll take 30 kids. What they say is if we get over that number, we're gonna hire another staff member. So we're gonna keep the ratios low, but we'll still, support more students coming in. So.
That's tremendous.
Which is a
Yeah,
huge benefit.
it is. That's
There will always
great.
be 2 staff members. Even if the ratio meets per 1, there will always be a second.
Yeah.
Which is also like.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
assuming everything goes well, how quickly will we be able to let the community know? Because they're making decisions, right, about the following school year, about daycare, et cetera. How soon do you think?
Our plan is that we would negotiate and have a lease agreement possibly within 10 days. I do believe that we will immediately start promoting, Right at School will do the promoting and will immediately be contacting our principals to make sure that they're involved in any fact of, end of the year events where they have everyone coming through, whether it's a table set up or flyer going home with students. We can certainly highlight at an upcoming board meeting, just to get even more information. Obviously, we'll push it out through our social media as well.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How long are those?
Well, they're for 1 year.
So they're renewed every year.
They are. And we wrote it in a way that we could continue as long as our partnership was, mutually
Beneficial.
correct.
We apologize for the choir.
There, you have questions?
We have no control over when they sing and when they don't. Any other questions with regard to this? Ms. Morheim, thank you. And I believe you're up next as well.
Yes, sir. I think we have a renewal or, basically an authorization, for myself and Mr. Hoffman. It allows us to act, really, it's more reports, documents, and other official correspondence, only if Dr. Nichols is not available, and that's through the DOE. We've had that in the past, so this is just a 1-year extension.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
Ms. Amy, Ms. Mohan, I just noticed that on the document that you shared or that was posted, the authorization was through June 30th, 2026. Is that an error? Because.
No, that is correct. So it currently runs through June and we're renewing effective July 1. It takes time. You have to sign this, endorse it. There's some special stamp that Ms. Davis has to do and then mail it in.
Okay, I thought it would say through 2027, but
No, that's when, currently you all have approved through June 30th of 2026. So Ms. Davis will write and extend it through June 30, 2027.
okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is federal programs grant. First read. Mr. Ross Miller.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dr. Nichols. Every year around this time, I come to talk to you about our federal programs and bring forward to you the grant applications that will be submitted to the state and get your approval on those. Tonight it is just first read and we'll bring it back next month. So if you have any questions, have to take those tonight or next month. So I'll go through them all to remind you what they're for. So Title I provides financial assistance to schools based on their students with basically needs for basically our free or reduced lunch count. And then we look at grade span, we identify only at the elementary school. And so I have some updates actually to that one this year that's going to look a little different. Title is mostly used for we'll get into that. Title II is teacher quality. And so those funds are used for licensure, professional development, things like that. And we get a set fund that typically goes up each year. Title III is to support our English language learners, and seeing a little bit, we get a little bit there, not very much, but it's based on our enrollment of ESL students, and we currently have 70 in that division. Title IV is a student support grant, and it's intended to assist us in bringing about some new programming and provide a well-rounded education, as well as enhancing technology education and student support through counseling and things like that.
I agree, that one probably.
So Title I, this is our largest of our title grants outside of 6B. And the Title I, we get $357,525.13. And the update for this year, there should be a QES out there at the end. Last year, we actually had to unidentify North Watkins, and because of regulations that state basically your free or reduced lunch percentage of schools must be lower than the district average. This year, they actually changed to give us some flexibility with that. And that was just an update literally mid last week, and allowed us to identify Watkins as a Title I school again. And so it allowed us to then diversify our funding between the 3 elementary schools. We use that to pay the salary and benefits of 3 staff members. We also provide funds for material supplies to be used by the school, both for those teachers as well as teachers across the school, as well as parent engagement events. And lastly, we use Title I for our McKinney-Vento homeless population support. For Title II, again, this is teacher quality. This has been going up quite a bit over the last couple of years. For many years, it was literally set right at $50,000. So now, after a couple of years of growth, we're up to $76,000. These funds are used to do professional development, provide tuition assistance, our mentor program for our new teachers, to provide conference attendance. We're, as you probably know, through our HR department, we've been increasing our teacher residencies, which is a great recruitment tool for us. And so we're using some of those funds this year to support the teacher residency program, and then to help teachers get add-on endorsements to their license so that they can teach more things for us. As I said, Title III is for ESL support. As again, we have 70 students and we get $4,130.47. We use those to provide materials for our ESL teachers, and then also professional development for both them, for conference attendances, as well as for our classroom teachers on how best ways they can support English learners in their classroom. We do 2 parent engagement events per year for specifically for our English learners. And so this also helps to support those 2 parent engagement events. And then we also have some different assessments that we use to progress monitor English development throughout the year to make sure that they're meeting benchmarks throughout the year before they get their end of the year English assessment. They take an additional assessment on top of SWELs and all that to measure English growth. And finally, Title IV, as I mentioned, this is a student support grant for expanding programs. We utilize it mostly for these 3 things here. We get $22,520.37. And so we use it for career planning software that we use at elementary all the way to senior year. And that helps our students and our counseling department help to sort of plan out their coursework, as well as plan out what career they want to pursue after high school. We also utilize it to provide enrollment into the welding course program at RCC. Last month, y'all heard me talk about the Perkins grant, and we're utilizing that for both welding, and this year we added electrician. We have also utilized Title IV to add additional slots to that welding program. And then lastly, we utilize it for materials for our STEAM classes at all levels. So again, this is up for vote next month. This is just first read, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have tonight, or we can take this next month.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
in regards to George Watkins, now, re-qualifying as Title I. Did I hear you say that you can split those funds among the 3 elementary schools?
Right, so we don't get any more additional funds by identifying more schools, but it does allow us to basically split the funds that we do get in 3 ways versus 2. And so it'll give Watkins a little bit more spending money for some materials, supplies to support the students. The two elementary schools will give up a little bit for that, but they still get a decent amount, and they actually still get more than Watkins because it's all based on your free and reduced lunch population. So it's not an even split, but it's still based on your need.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Reimer?
the $4,000 ESO, have any stipulations with it?
All 4 grants have stipulations with them. All 4 we go through monitoring.
So given the
whether-
$4,000, is it worth pursuing?
So we've questioned that on and off throughout the year. Everything that is, I would say, extra laborious that comes with it, we would have to do anyway,
Okay.
whether we accept the funds or not. So there's some things that no matter what, because of civil rights and Department of Justice,
You have to do.
we have to do. And those are probably the higher requirements. The ones that come along just with the grant are not
That,
overly
Ours.
significant.
also software for career development, like what package is that?
So the program is called Zello.
Zello?
Yep, starts with an X.
Not familiar, but I do.
I encourage you to look it up. I'm happy to send you the information.
Yes, that'd be good.
Anyone else? Anything?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Ross, what materials does the support STEAM classes are you thinking of using the funds for?
So we utilize them for a variety of things every year, and so we've utilized them for 3D printers. We've utilized them for consumable materials. That in STEAM classes, you do a lot of building the things that you design, and so there's a lot of consumable materials. We've bought robotics kits and different things like that to support basically a variety of different things within science, technology, and mathematics.
It mentions here in Title IV, supporting digital literacy. So specifically, how is that addressed with Title IV here at UCAN?
So mostly within STEAM classes, also our technology integration coaches, other places call them ITRTs, they work with our teachers on working with our students to teach best practices, online practices, and good best uses for digital technologies.
Anyone else? All right, thank you. Mr. Miller, thank you. Mr. Hockman, Code of Conduct Review, first read.
Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, Dr. Nichols. This evening, I am here to talk to you about the Student Code of Conduct Review Committee. This committee exists to ensure that our student discipline framework remains aligned with the needs of students, staff, and families in the community while supporting a safe, orderly, positive school environment. Our committee consisted of parents, teachers, administrators from all of our buildings, and also a student from the high school. We worked very diligently on this. The goal was to make sure that this book is safe, fair, consistent, legally compliant, student-centered, and also responsive to emerging challenges. The majority of the work that we do on this committee focuses on interventions and responses. You will see here there are 5 major sections for behavior violations, which are labeled A through E. A, behaviors that impede academic progress, behaviors related to school operations, relationship behaviors, behaviors of a safety concern, and behaviors that endanger self or others. For Section A, BAP 1, interfering with learning in the classroom, the recommendation also at a level 3 to that. Just for your reference, we have 5 levels. Level 1 being the lowest level, which is really a classroom response. Level 2 would be a lower level administrative response. Level 3 would be sort of a middle level administrative response. 4 would be the most intensive administrative response. And then finally, level 5, our highest level, would be a school division response. So we are basically adding a lower level administrative response to this one. For section B, which is behaviors related to school operations, there were no recommended changes. In section C, relationship behaviors, once again, there were no recommended changes. We get to level D, behaviors of a safety concern. There were 4 recommended changes. BSC 1, possessing or using alcohol, they want to add a recommendation to notify the school resource officer, which is also the same for BSC 2, distributing alcohol to other students. That would also include a referral to the school resource officer. 2 more changes under D. Oh, go back one, please. BSC 6, bullying after an intervention. The schools recommended that we add level 5 to that. And then BSC 15, causing a substantial disturbance. They wanted to recommend an addition of level 4. Level 5 would be district level. That would include things like an alternative school and things of that, any suspension exceeding 10 days. There's a couple different things that come with that. Section F is our most severe offenses. What you'll see is that has been levels 1 through 5. We really are asking that we want to remove levels 1 and 2 from those. They would never be used in any of those situations at any of our levels. So we think that that's a good decision, just to clarify what the options are when dealing with those types of situations.
Yeah, most offenses, board members, you go through the progression of 1 through 5. But if somebody has any of those, like, we're not doing a school intervention, like, you will not be, in school. It's a huge safety concern. So really just a housekeeping.
Certain. Some additional changes in verbiage in our policy in the book under weapons and school policy. We want to add a line that adds weapons, look-alike weapons, and toy weapons will not be returned to students or families.
And you wouldn't think we'd have to put that in there, board members, but it's not in there currently. And if it's not in there, you get challenged on it. So just.
As Dr. Nichols says, they feel like there is time being wasted in having those conversations about why things aren't returned. So we want to make it very clear that we will not be returning any of those items. One additional change for portable electronic communication device. We want to add a little verbiage so that it's very clear for our families. The use of a Chromebook or any personal electronic device to photograph, video record, or audio record other students without their knowledge or consent is strictly prohibited. Such actions may violate the privacy and safety of others and disrupt the educational environment. This is just another way of letting the families know when they read the book that this is not something that is okay. We have been dealing with this, obviously, and there's been punishment for it, but we're trying to make sure that it's crystal clear when one of those things happens, photographing, video recording, audio recording, that there will be a real consequence that comes with it. That concludes all of the recommended changes. From the committee. This is a first read. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Mr. Reimer?
The alcohol distribution. Seems to me that there could be a case made to have a 5-level escalation on something like that, depending upon how organized or persistent the distribution was.
Could be. We could take that back to the committee. That is not one of the recommended changes that came from the committee at that point. But I understand your point on that.
Okay.
Mr.
Ms. Cunningham?
I'm just curious, the conduct committee, did they have any discussions related to AI and inappropriate use of AI by students? As far as, academic use, inappropriate?
No, there was no discussion on that. My thoughts on that not coming up would be that the consequences are there for such offense. Typically what would happen in that committee, an administrator would bring about a situation where something happened and that the consequences didn't match. That was never something that was brought to us. And that came from a parent and a teacher and administrator level, not considered a concern for them.
Ms. Cunningham, it's worth us considering across the next year. Right now, if you're using AI to cheat, it is coded as such, cheating. If you're using AI to bully or harass or some of the, fake videos and things that you see online, we use really the behavior code related to it.
Okay.
It may be worth, as it evolves, that they're in conjunction with AI. I don't know if that's what you were leaning
Yes.
toward, Ms. Cunningham. just
Right, I
based on
know
our
that
discussions.
sometimes they overlap, but do we have anything specific yet related to AI?
And we haven't had anything that doesn't code as something that it naturally is, but
Okay.
I think as things evolve, it may be worth considering. So,
Okay.
and that's kind of how these come out.
With greater prevalence, I would imagine
Right.
that would come from.
And I think as we move forward, and we've had discussions at different times, we'll be reviewing and perhaps even creating policy with respect to AI, which will give them a standard or benchmark to work off of for code of conduct.
It's
well
also in
as we
violation
move
of our AUP, our acceptable use policy as well,
Okay.
with it. So
Mhm.
There's a particular area that seems to be rising rapidly with this use of AI, fake, nudity. I read an article about a school board that had to address a problem where a number of young ladies were being, fired.
And our intent is to be proactive with AI and anything related to or associated with it so that we don't encounter that. So thank you, Mr. Ryan. That will be on future agendas and we will address that specifically. Any other?
Mr. Chair. In regards to the certain levels of behavior, I'm just curious as to why we stop at 3 or 4 on some, and then other ones we skip 5 and go right to SRO. If you could just maybe explain why.
SRO, usually anything that goes to an SRO would be something related to legality. So some offenses in a school, while maybe seeming severe, would not cross the threshold of going to an officer or a court. And the recommendations, like you talked about jumping from 3 to 5, these recommendations, we go based upon school level recommendations in accordance with what we think and what we see is happening. Our goal is to not ever have to be creative when we're giving out discipline. We want it to be sort of cut and dry. Here's the offense and here's the consequence for it. If there was a situation, and this is how some of these changes come about, a situation comes up where there's an offense and we don't have something that we feel as if is aligned to it in terms of being appropriate and disciplined, we would then add the appropriateness. What we see right now, I think across the board for our administrators, they would say this is appropriate. The administrative teams meet regularly throughout the year to review any concerns they have with the code of conduct. And then when we come together, we try to sort of bring these all into one hat and fix them if we can.
The
So
state-
if,
State also, I'm sorry, I'll jump on. The state also dictates many of the things that you contact law enforcement for. So it may not be a alternative school 5 piece, but it's a severe thing. So that's why you may see a 3 or 4 with in our case, an SRO checkbox. Make sure we're in compliance with that.
okay, I forgot mine. Good.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
It's okay.
Before I forgot my response.
Yeah. With this particular, the use of Chromebook and personal electronic devices to photograph, did you consider, or should we consider also the distribution of such? Rather than just,
There's things in there and we absolutely could consider that. This was, as I recall, a clarifying, just an additional remark, just so that folks would see it. What would typically happen if someone were to distribute that? That would be dealt with potentially as bullying or something like that. That is typically how some of that is handled, particularly at the secondary level. Somebody's taken a photograph or altered a photograph, and if they've moved it along, it would come under the illegal use of our AUP, and then through doing something in the discipline handbook that related to bullying or not appropriate behavior.
that would help us when we start to form these policies on AI and in terms of support. That would help us, something with regard to distribution. That often becomes the issue. Teen suicide rate, for instance, is through the roof because of AI and these fictitious characters that they associate the students with. And I would like, that's one of those that we'll get into it more with the AI policy, but I wondered if we couldn't at least take it back and consider at this point in time.
Amplification of these things over social.
And what I'll do is I'll look at that and I'll also show you how it's being handled. I can get that information to you.
Thank you, Mr. Hockman.
Thank you.
Next item E is 2026-2027 Student Board Representative Update. we have, we had a situation which is unusual and unfortunate in District 1 where the representative relocated and it was just outside of the district. Therefore, that conflates to immediate resignation from that position. We have received applications for that and indications that folks would like to represent District 1. What happens is we take into consideration after reviewing those.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is this relevant to the agenda item E, which is about the student school board representation?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have two.
I'm sorry. We had two.
We have two, we're filling a district.
Two
one role,
things on
and
it.
we also
That's
have
my
student rep,
mistake.
So we're a
My
little ahead on
mistake.
the agenda.
Yes, thank you for bringing that to my attention. As I read it, I
Missed the student.
I missed the student part of it. Yeah. Got off the start line with the wrong direction. So thank you for that. Student school board representatives, which is also very important. And Toby, thank you for serving. We reviewed applications for student school board representative. And we will, after reviewing and being able to sit and talk with these incredible students, we learned a lot about them and we're so impressed with everyone who had applied. And the unfortunate thing is that we have to decide. And we have done that, and we, in the action items, will vote on those who the school board has reviewed, and we'll vote on who we believe collectively will be the best representative to serve going forward. Thank you. Okay, I'm bowing out of this quickly. Dr. Nichols.
Section 7, I'm going to bow out of it pretty quickly too, sir. I am saving comprehensive updates on the first two topics for our June retreat and making way for you guys to move forward with unfinished business.
Okay,
Sorry to pass it right back.
no worries. Annual plan, second reading, goal 1, Dr. Young.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members, and Dr. Nichols. Tonight is the second read opportunity for questions on the annual plan titled 6B grant application. And I ask if there are any questions on that.
Mort, any questions? I have none.
But it needs a vote.
It did. It
Well
quieted
done.
the birds.
Mr.
Please.
Miller, I just want you to take notes on the number of questions you received.
Duly noted.
Title 6B.
Superintendent's recommended FY 27 budget update. It's more time again.
So we continue. I wish I had more news, more information. We do not have a state budget, but we do have to move forward. We want to get contracts to our employees. So we do need to make some decisions and approve a budget this evening. I do believe that the budget that we approve this evening may change. I think it will depend on the funding that we get from the state. But what we can do is best anticipate where we'll end and try to plan for that in a way that we feel very comfortable with issuing contracts. Is that fair? So what we presented at the last meeting was that we were gonna leave our budget the same total dollars. We did request 1.2 from the county. If you recall, they did include 700,000 of that in their recommended budget. So at the last meeting, we just shifted 500,000 from county contribution to state contribution. So that left all of our expenditure lines exactly the same. So we're just saying we're shifting where we might receive that revenue. To be clear, I do not believe that we will receive $500,000 additional funding from the state. What we are planning, and what you'll see kind of in the document that's provided to you, is that we're estimating currently, we're making cuts of approximately $277,805.
Ms. Morgan, may I interrupt you just for a moment? I believe there may be a spider
I
on
think you got
your,
a spider going.
on your arm or
On your
sweater.
back and arm.
We were trying, I looked like I was doing baseball signs over here. I was trying
I was
to,
like, am I talking about the wrong thing? or-
No,
you can see we were all working on something, so.
No,
That was a total team.
it's,
effort. I think
yeah,
everybody's
it's,
up there.
it's bad enough. It sounds like we're in a barn. We don't need the insects as well.
So the
Thank
birds
you.
are not as excited about. budget
Yeah.
as they're missing
Okay,
out.
please. Thank you.
Okay, no spiders. So where we were was shifting revenue. So now we're making reductions, still hoping that we'll receive additional state funding, but not knowing specifics around what that funding might look like or what percent salary increase might be approved through the state. Okay? What we did at our last meeting was we eliminated a health and PE position. We felt comfortable with doing that. We have a plan. And we shifted summer school funding to after-school remediation. So that's a no dollar change with that. Now, in addition to that, we are proposing eliminating a gifted teaching position.
Now, none of these are all
New position
new
request.
position requests with the caveat. So right now, the state is tracking to June to approve it. So there could be room to add positions back. This is our recommendation to you of how we can move forward safely. Issue contracts, fill positions that we currently have, while we're in this month and a half,
Yeah.
waiting on, word from the state. So,
Right.
sorry, I didn't want
And to be
anybody,
fair, this will be the budget that we'll adopt.
Yeah.
So we will have to adopt this budget that we maybe don't feel 100% about. And then what we will do probably in June or July even is come back to you to possibly amend our adopted budget with any of those further changes.
Fair enough.
Which makes it very difficult. If you're adding back a new position in July, it's really hard to find folks at that time, but we are trying to do the best that we can and push on it as much as we can, especially on the positions that we're trying to hold on to.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Reimer.
how confident are you that your conservative estimates will at least be met? Because that would be a disaster if we. pass
we
this.
have contingencies, sir, even in positions that we're recommending we greenlight in the period that we will be working on those positions. We would likely hold until we're
So there are new positions that you would hold on until.
hold on officially approving and hiring. So our next board meeting is in June.
Yes.
So hopefully by that time we have a state number. We're pushing the envelope, but we still feel like we have the wiggle room in there. So we have some disaster preparedness scenarios.
And so are your average attendance numbers conservative?
Not as conservative as
They
I
have been
would
in the
like,
past.
however, more so than what they have been in recent years.
Got it.
So I am trying to work our way back to being a little more conservative. What Mr. Reimer is talking about is our average daily membership. And how we budget those, and we really pushed on that in past years. So we are trying to remain. I thought it was a little bit better, but our numbers are coming in a little bit lower. So, but I do still feel okay about that.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else?
Mr. Chair. Ms. Mohan, you mentioned currently eliminating gifted teacher position and the PE teacher position. Any other positions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll read through the list just so
Please.
everyone can kind of hear. We have a reading specialist at the middle school position that we are eliminating. Now, this would be the first position that the teams prioritize to come back with
Yeah.
additional state funding out of all of these cuts. Last meeting, Mr. Davis was here and presented to you our healthcare increase was more favorable than what we originally had planned. And I did tell you at that meeting that I would not touch that, but I lied and I am. And I'm gonna reduce $49,173. I feel good about that. It'll be fine. We are reducing our residencies. So we did have 5 teacher residents in the budget. We are reducing that to 2. We only believe that we may have 2 actually identified. So if something did happen and maybe a third came along, we do believe that we could fit that back into a budget plan. But we feel good in reducing those $2 amounts. There's 2 things actually that we want to add into the budget. That is the Beta Club sponsor that was discussed at the last meeting. The team did go back and review that stipend. We are increasing that to a grade 2. That's our recommendation. That's $1,905 total. And then we do want to go ahead and move every position that we had budgeted as just a 2% increase. We're shifting that to 3%. So that we do have 3%, and that additional cost is $71,314. Really, that's for administration, principals, APs, clerical support, maintenance, mechanics, technicians, mechanic helpers. All of those pay scales that were in the recommended budget document will change. And the way that they will change is that they will now go up instead of 1.5%. They will move up 1.5% instead of just 0.5% to get us to 3%. So probably at the next meeting, when we adopt the budget, I'll make sure that we have a complete document that has those new scales in it. But that's typically how we would make that adjustment for cost of living. Does that part make sense?
It does. I have an additional question. So I'm really concerned that I know it's priority, that reading specialist, but that should be a priority. And you're still keeping the request for an additional assistant principal at the high school, correct? I know you've been asking this for several years. We've kind of put that off. I'm just based on what I witnessed in my conversations when I was at the middle school, having that support system for students who are still not proficient readers has to be a priority. 7th grade, 8th grade, then they're moving on to high school. If they're still behind in their reading, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle in all their other courses. This has to be a priority.
So where do we get the money?
So where do we get the money? Right, where do we get the money?
Well, and we're cautiously optimistic that to be able to put that first position back in, or any other savings that we're able to find, or any additional money that we can get from local or state government. But I don't disagree with that sentiment at all, Ms. Cunha.
How many reading specialists do we have currently?
At the
Do
middle
you know?
school,
Total 7, 1 at the middle school and 6 at elementary.
two at
Each
yeah,
elementary school has one, and
So-
there's one at the,
two.
oh, two.
Two,
excuse
two
me.
at the elementary.
And
Okay.
technically, you have a second at the middle school on the special ed side of things that does
Okay.
the specific special ed
All right,
reading program. Yes, ma'am.
well, yeah, that's too bad.
And I will say every vacancy that comes up, the team is really sitting and trying to prioritize even, are we rehiring what we have? Can we do something different? Can we buy a little time? See what we get from the state? Of course, Ms. Anderson, we have to prioritize our hires and which positions are harder to fill, at what point in the year is it easier to get some of these positions? There's lots of folks in this process and really just trying to get the most that we can now with the information that we have.
Ms. Cunha, just an idea, throwing this out for us to consider. We can go ahead and post and try to get a pool together And that way, if this budget comes in at the same time, we're not starting from square one, where we post and get a pool in June. We can have that in anticipation and call it an anticipated opening, which would help us.
Yeah, what would the dollar amount be for that position?
For the
That's
reading specialist, 85,817. That's with salary and benefits, not to include healthcare benefits.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Another concern, student residency, we've yielded, we've benefited from that.
It-
And to,
Yeah, we've had great success in hiring students and residents or resident teachers. What we're getting from our college partners is some years there are a lot of them, and some years there are not as many. We also have a neighboring locality that has seen our success, and they're closer to this institution. I will not name them. But they are starting their own residency, so we've lost a couple to them just with proximity to the college. But I agree with you. We wanted 5 budgeted, and we're at 2.
When we don't budget them, we get lots.
You're
So
right.
Maybe we should just cut everything.
Yeah.
That's what we get for playing there.
yeah, well, and to compete, we have a national shortage of teachers. And I hate to touch anything that prohibits us from taking the forward position and that, and the residency is one of those things that,
And if we do get additional, we will 100% make that happen. We did this year and we will, this was just a way to try to be more conservative of what we really can, try to squeeze into the budget with these on this.
yeah, and I so appreciate the, this just isn't fun. There's not a fun part of it.
Right.
And I so appreciate your,
But we
You're
did
working
want
hard.
to just say what we do have in there, so new positions, and that we are moving forward. As 2 additional elementary school teachers, 2 teachers in residence, a speech language pathologist assistant, school psychologist, an ESL teacher, a pre-K coordinator for BPI, high school assistant principal, a special education teacher for our middle school, a paraprofessional in special education for our middle school, and sports stipends to include a golf assistant, gymnastics assistant, esports, and debate, which is still, very much needed and great work of just getting that in.
School psychologist. Is that required for, is that mandated in any?
DDOE?
Yeah.
So we have a number of students that need tested for a variety of reasons. So yes, sir, when we look at our current caseload of students who require additional testing, it is necessary. So right now we have 2. Here's the point we're at budget and county wise, we are growing and the infrastructure related to the growth is not keeping up. So as we've got a couple hundred more kids, we need, it's just.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm
That's kind of, yes, sir.
just pushing in
and-
places that I want to push.
And really, that probably should have been in place, 2 years ago related to it. We keep trying to hold on and I think it's impacting us.
I will just add, even though it's not listed here, because this is really more our general operating budget, but on our school nutrition side, we're also adjusting the salaries 3%. Their total bottom line will not change, they just their expenditure lines, and then for any grant funded positions as well, those would shift, same thing. The total bottom line would not change.
So who are we actually, so state budget, do we know how much we're getting from federal at this point?
We do, we
Okay.
have they will change, we use prior year awards in most cases until we get the new award. In some cases, we might anticipate an increase. We typically feel about that, so we're not concerned about losing any of those funds right now. We had been previously, but we feel good about this year with the grant fund.
We have a working number from the county. I have no reason to believe that will change. So it
Including the money listed.
shouldn't change for less. No, I would
There
be
is a
opposed to
public
them giving us
hearing,
more
I
money.
think on Monday
Uh,
night, if anyone wants to attend to the county, and advocate for these items. And we'll get contracts out. Our goal is as soon as possible, we'll get to work on that immediately.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ms. Morgan. Thank you. This time we've come to number 10, citizens comment. Prior to, we have one citizen for comment, Ms. Tiffany Lewis. Before we begin, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight to speak. Please note that comments are limited to 3 minutes. Once the timer sounds, please promptly finish your comment and return to your seat. It is customary for the school board not to make comment during the citizen comment period. Please make sure your contact information is provided on the sign-up sheet if you would. And if you would like someone to contact you, we will follow up with you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Chair Vaught, Dr. Nichols, and members of the board. My name is Tiffany Lewis, and I'm addressing you this evening as a concerned and disappointed parent. As a parent of Black children in this district, my concern is clear, it is undeniable. It has been the experience of many Black students and families that New Kent County Public Schools has a climate and culture of problematic racism. For brevity, I want to approach this in 3 parts: past, present, and future. I'm sure that many of you are well versed in the historic Green versus New Kent County Supreme Court case of 1968, in which the entire country watched as the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously decided that New Kent School Board and boards across the country should integrate schools immediately. And as New Kent County went, so did the country and the rest of the world. So if we know that New Kent County holds this historic significance, and in fact still serves as a home to many of the children listed in the Green case, many of whom are grandparents of students in your schools today, then how can we today in 2026 not swiftly secure a healthy learning environment for all students? Presently, there are a myriad of incident reports being processed daily in your schools regarding racist verbal and physical altercations towards Black students. In New Kent County Public Schools, Black students are being called the N-word, they're being called monkey and other racial epithets from some of their white peers and classmates. When Black students follow protocol and are brave enough to report these incidents, they are met with a lack of accountability or even question about their alleged participation. Black parents are given quote unquote investigation promises and responses like, we can't help what children here at home. This is inexcusable. So I've posed the following suggestions. Number 1, provide an opportunity for parents of different racial and ethnicity backgrounds to give input in the selection processes of the upcoming New Kent Middle School principal position and future principalships. Update. Number 2, update the student code of conduct with student behavior codes or SBAR codes that align more closely with the BDOE's behavior codes related to bullying and hate speech, specifically codes RB7, RB8, and RB9. New Kent Public Schools Code of Conduct includes bait and avoided notations for these codes, not including words like hate speech, which can muddle the accuracy of the racial incidents being reported. Number 3, provide an annual school climate and culture survey to provide students and community and staff an opportunity to provide feedback. Number 4, invest in culturally responsive training for all teachers and staff, aside from the required Standard 6 training by the BDOE. And number 5, invest in restorative practices for all staff and students in alignment with House Bill 298 and current legislative priorities. I'm happy to discuss opportunities for collaboration because I, like many other Black parents, want to believe that the county that we've decided to call home, to pay our taxes, to educate our children, and for some Black families have centuries-long heritage, it's better than what we are experiencing. I want to thank Mr. Sammy Fudge, New Kent Middle School Principal, and Mr. Sean Hodge, New Kent Middle School Counselor, for their leadership. I want to thank you, Dr. Nichols, for your integrity and being responsive thus far. There are teachers who do amazing jobs for our students every day, and we're thankful to them, but our students overall deserve better. And on that note, my actual last statement is that 3 minutes is not long enough to change a system, but it's just enough time to challenge it. I'll be following up with a formal email. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Lewis.
you.
I was probably ask one thing before I forget.
Yes, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
You're gonna send those
I will.
okay, because you were doing a great job of moving through
3
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
I shortened it too. I just want those and I know we're gonna meet, so thank you.
I got 3 and half of 4 and the end of 5. So thank you for sending those.
Thank you.
All right. Number 11, action items. So we need to consider for approval of before and after school program.
I move that we approve the school after childcare program.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer.
Aye.
Ms. Funia.
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
And Mr. Vaught.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Next is consider approval of physical agents.
I move that we approve the delegation to the physical agents, sorry.
Yes.
A second?
Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer.
Aye.
Ms. Funia.
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
And Mr. Vaught.
Aye. The next is consideration of appointment of student school board representatives.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have how do we identify the candidate?
We have reviewed we sent out the information and we were able to review those.
Yes.
I have a recommendation
So
on this.
that's
as well.
basically what I was wondering, how are we going to proceed on this?
Policy allows up to 2. And my recommendation is that we this time have 2 student school board representatives. So,
Can you please name them?
yes.
Because they're staring at us right now.
Right here.
Well, I move that we first appoint one.
Yes, we did last year, but we
Motion on the table.
we ran into a very good thing, as it turns out. Marley, Monroe, and Haven Locks. We, in interviewing them and spending time with them, Ms. Cunha and I, they both have not weaknesses, but strengths that we believe working in tandem together will really help in terms of bringing information to the student body. This year also, we would like to, Toby kind of set the pace and was the pioneer. And I would like to, as chair, have us increase the amount of involvement in terms of their involvement in the processes that we use as a local government and becoming more familiar with the process. And
So that's all very well, but what's the motion?
the motion is that we bring on,
I've already raised a motion.
Haven and Monroe, and Marley as school board representatives.
I want to amend the motion to appoint one initially.
Okay, then we'll vote on that amendment.
You'll need a second.
Do we have a second?
Can I have ask a question?
You may.
Mr. Reimer, are you saying that we appoint one for now, or we
Right.
appoint them separately at the same time?
Well, I'm saying we appoint one for now, but somebody else could raise a motion to appoint somebody, a second
Second.
one.
Do,
But I
okay,
think we ought to do at least one. I don't think it should be in the same motion.
Is this because it just stated, consider appointment of student school board representative?
There's,
Yeah, there was no S
It's
there.
very-
I think we will vote 2 separate,
Separately.
motions. Your motion is that we add 1 school board representative. Is that correct?
yes, we vote. for
Okay,
one.
do we have a second?
A second.
Okay,
Mr. Reimer.
Aye.
Ms. Cunha.
One moment. Shouldn't we name that person? that we're? or-
Well, I assume, I didn't,
Is there two?
there's two pieces of this.
Okay.
We need to decide if we're gonna have one or two first. We'll clarify that,
Okay.
then we'll move to the next motion.
So shouldn't the motion be amended, the wording changed to, I make a motion that we appoint two student
No,
representatives.
I'm
Not now.
specifically making.
Not now, we'll get there,
Oh, okay,
we'll get
okay.
there, hang on.
I apologize.
That's okay. Okay, we've had a
little
second.
Confusing, sorry.
That's all right, we've had a second. It's time to call for the
Okay.
vote.
May I just clarify further? This vote is to only have one?
That's correct.
Okay, just making sure. I just want everybody to be level set on this. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
Actually, the motion is to appoint one,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
not, yes, nothing else.
Okay.
And we have a second.
But does that mean that we're voting to only, I just want to clarify that we're only appointing one, but after we appoint one, then somebody can make the motion to appoint a second. Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Thank you.
And Mr. Vaughn.
No,
So technically that passes 3-1.
okay. Do I have a motion to approve of two school board members, school board members?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Steve?
Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer.
No,
Ms. Cunha.
Yes. Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
And Mr. Vaughn.
Aye,
Motion passes 3-1 for two school board members,
yes.
student representatives. I apologize.
Okay, so we've cleared that up. Okay,
still haven't appointed.
You're right. And that's the second motion. The third?
yes,
motion?
there will be a third motion for this change for the individuals. Okay, do I have a motion to appoint Haven and Marley as student school board representatives?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Reimer.
No,
Ms. Cunha.
Yes.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
And Mr. Vaughn.
Aye,
Motion passes 3-1. Congratulations.
yes, ladies, congratulations. Thank you.
Need a bigger table.
And if we could make that any more confusing, we will. The next is consider approval of annual plan
Title 6B.
Title 6B. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
second.
Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer.
Aye.
Ms. Cunha.
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
And Mr. Vaughn.
Aye. Next is a consideration of approval of superintendent's recommended budget. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis?
And I just noticed my mistake is on the board, but you did the correct motion. We're not adopting,
We're approving, not
Yeah,
that,
that's my
not that we
mistake.
adopted. We're
Mr.
good.
Reimer,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski,
Aye.
and Mr. Vaughn.
Aye.
All right, thank you guys for the work on the budget.
Okay, consider appointment of District 1 vacant school board seat. I make a motion that we appoint Miss Jessica Stewart as the representative in District 1.
So moved. Is that what I was supposed to do?
Okay, and second? Yes, it was.
Mr. Reimer,
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
and Ms. Dombrowski,
Aye.
and Mr. Vaughn.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ms. Stewart. We're now at comments, school board members and superintendent comments. We'll start with Mr. Reimer. Would you start us off, sir?
As we wrap up the school year, I think it's evident that despite some of its failures, this is a good school. It's an improving school under the leadership of our superintendent, and we have a student body that's full of achievement. We've celebrated some of that achievement today. We celebrated all of these students. It's remarkable to see the young people here in the school learn and pursue their dreams and achieve great things. For a school this small, do well in athletics, do well in academics, and it's a tribute to the community, and as well as the students and the leadership of our superintendent and his staff and teachers here. We're growing very rapidly, and I'm worried about how that growth is going to impact the school in the coming years. First, I talk about things that we to back up because we don't have the money, and it may get harder as we go on because the county doesn't have a good revenue base to support growth that's happening in terms of infrastructure, and it's going to be a tight couple of years. Despite all that, our kids are doing very well. I'm worried that we're coming close to a point where what we're going to cut is going to impact their levels of achievement and their ability to do things. And I just want to make clear that we're trying to do as much as we can. We're beggars. Primary source of revenue comes from the state, county, a little bit from the federal government, most of it comes from the state and county. County is where both places are not going to be able to fund all our aspirations. We need to, I'm doing my best to address this by working with supervisors as much as I can, but I think in the coming years, we're going to see tax increases coming. And I hope you as parents will advocate for the spending that we're wanting to pursue to help our kids achieve things. And I hope you have faith in us to do it well. Thank you.
Ms. Cunha.
I agree with a lot of what Mr. Reimer said. I want to thank the staff, Ms. Morheim, everyone who's been working on this budget. These are difficult decisions that we have to make. I think I could speak for the board, our primary objective is student achievement, student outcomes. But as Mr. Reimer said, we're being stretched thin, right? And so we have to make priorities, and they're hard choices to make. But I have confidence in the division and their leadership. I know that they put academic achievement, student outcomes first as well. And so I'm confident that we'll be able to do the best we can for our children. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate seniors who are graduating in a couple of weeks. I will not be at the graduation ceremony this year. I'm going to be in Alaska with my husband. We're going to visit our daughter and son who are in the Air Force, and we haven't seen them for 4 years. They were in Japan, now they're stateside, and we're going to meet our second grandbaby, so we're really excited about that. So I just want to say that, you know, I'll be thinking of everyone and congratulations to the students. You're going on to the next chapter of your lives. How exciting. And parents, thank you for all you do to support your children. It makes all the difference in the world. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Ms. Dombrowski.
I want to congratulate Marley and Haven. We're very excited to have you. And Toby, thank you so very much for being the pioneer in this endeavor. You've been phenomenal and really appreciate all your efforts and all that you've done. Also looking forward to working with Miss Stewart. Very excited to have you on board. Miss Lewis, thank you for coming out and speaking. We cannot address problems that we are not familiar with. And it's so important that we always speak out about these issues. I've been contacted by other parents who are concerned about the bullying issues, and I feel we need to do a better job in really addressing what's going on. And we, again, can't do that unless we have people who are willing to come out and speak out. So thank you. It's hard to believe that it's almost the end of the school year. It goes by super fast every year. This time next month, school will be out for the summer. So for those watching who may not be aware of the incredible, phenomenal efforts that have to go on every day behind the scenes to make any school division run seamlessly and almost evident, like effortlessly, the way that New Kent does. So to all the administrators, the teachers, staff members, custodians, bus drivers, maintenance, everyone who makes New Kent schools run, thank you for your efforts. I think a lot of it goes without the gratitude that you deserve. So thank you very much. And I wanted to add just one more accolade to our student athlete of the month, Maria Leonard. She was also the student who the Daughters of the American Revolution recognized as a good citizen for New Kent High School this year. So again, thank you. Hope everyone has a smooth and good rest of their year. And best of luck to all the students who will be taking their last SOLs and tests, and you will do great. Best of luck.
Thank you, Ms. Dombrowski. Ms. Lewis, thank you for coming and speaking. I look forward to getting the rest of the recommendations or suggestions. Ms. Stewart, welcome. We're excited and looking forward to working with you. There has been a concern with and an issue that has been talked about and that we've heard about with respect to the child care transportation issue. And I appreciate everyone who's commented on that as well. And those who have urged the Board of Supervisors as well as the school board to figure that out. I would like to add a third party into that group to help figure this thing out. In other locations, private daycares provide transportation as part of an amenity or a reason to go to their daycare, in fact. And it doesn't fall on the budget of the rest of the area. So I urge those who are concerned and about transportation to perhaps talk to the private daycare centers that you are sending your children to and asking them if they wouldn't consider working from that angle or aspect. I know that the comment that we always get, there's not a lot of money in that. Quite frankly, there's not a lot of money in anything. I'm a believer it's not in what you make, it's how you spend it. when you prepare your personal budget. So I would hope that they would consider approaching the daycare centers and asking them, what can you do in terms of transportation? Because in most areas, the private daycare centers provide the transport to and from, even before and after. And I would like to see us even broaden our scope of horizon into that model. But I also, as I always do, I am so grateful for Dr. Nichols, our administrative staff and teachers and all of those. We all ran and were elected to this board under the understanding that we would try to achieve excellence in education. That's a broad swath, I understand, but I believe in the period of time that we have, we should be able to do that. And that's the goal. All aspects involved in that, but we have a great team. New Kent has a great team, and we can get even better, and we will, and we have, and I look forward to that. Thank you, Dr. Nichols.
Oh, that was a
That's
deferral.
that's a deferral to you, sir.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. Want to thank Toby for going first, blazing the trail. I also want to say welcome to Ms. Stewart. I've been sitting at my own table for a little while, and I'm excited to have some company. So, so thank you for taking that on. You've always been an active one part of Team New Kent for a long time, but as a mother and as PTO and the work you do with the tribe, it's just I'm just really excited. So it is service, and I just thank you for stepping up to do that. This is a time of year where people are really excited, and I've got to tell you, it's one of my least favorite times of year. I love the ceremony, like I'm doing signing days and all of these kind of things, but I live and breathe our community and our families and our staff. And in 25 days, they kind of go away for a little bit. So I had a taste of that in my own home. My 2 grown children were gone for a week. It was incredibly quiet, and I didn't know what to do. That's sort of what happens in the summer with me, but as I reflect on the close of the year, I'm proud of the successes we have, but we have work to do. Like there's big, strong foundational work that we have to do, and just know that we're committed to it. And we're ready to move forward with it. So excited about the new programs. I want to thank the team I work with. They are small but mighty, and I don't thank them often. But to put together this budget that's going to move New Kent schools forward. We are, once again, 129 out of 131 in per pupil spending. That's all the money we get, and we are number 8 in the entire state in outcomes for kids. So it's hard to find somebody that does it better, but we still have work to do. So I thank the board that I had the opportunity to line up for year 8 and finish some of that work that didn't get finished this year. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I apologize for the nature scene that we experienced throughout the entire meeting and competed with the bird choir.
Mr. Davis, important.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, I just want to say one final thank you to the board for giving me this opportunity. I would have done more, and congratulations to Marley Davis. I have no doubt you guys are going to do amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. No further discussion? Meeting is adjourned.